ranking new movies I watched released in May 2025 from worst to best. For someone who's unemployed, I have surprisingly only watched 5 new releases this month. Then again, for movies released in May, it was surprisingly a mediocre month for movies. And coming in at the last spot, we got a movie you probably already forgot about, which is Another Simple Favor. This movie was insanely goofy and made me hate Blake Lively even more than I did before. You could make a whole entire video essay alone over all of her terrible outfits she decided to wear for this damn movie. I watched it less than a month ago and I couldn't tell you the plot or what the billion twists were if I had a gun pointed to the back of my head. That being said, this movie was so bad it became fun bad, so that's why I couldn't give it lower than a 2 out of 5.
Next.
At spot number 4, we got Lilo and Stitch. This one pretty much went as you would expect, where in every new Disney live action movie they'd make a bunch of unnecessary changes that you know they went out of their way to make. So let's go through some of the unnecessary changes together. We got skinny Bubbles before GTA 6. We got a ton of CGI throughout the film, but then they somehow ran out of budget when it came to Captain Gontu. And my biggest complaint of the entire film was Zach Galifianakis as Jumba. His voice didn't fit Jumba at all, and I never got used to it through the entirety of the film. Pretty much the only silver lining of this entire film is how they didn't butcher my beloved Nani. With how every single live action adaptation is going recently, I was surprised they didn't just throw Bella Ramsey in the role and called it a day. At the third spot, we sadly have Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This movie had the most Make-A-Wish IMF crew out of the entire franchise. And for a 3-hour Mission Impossible film, it somehow only had 2 memorable stunts. The plane crash sequence, which was insanely dope, and the submarine sequence. But that's literally it. The rest of the film was filled with an insane amount of flashbacks and repeated exposition we got from the previous movie. And for the final movie in a franchise that couldn't help spit out consistent bangers, this one was just alright, which is the worst thing you could have done for the finale. At the second spot, we got Final Destination: Bloodlines. The more I've thought about this movie, the better it's aged. I thought I would get sick of this movie by now, but I've talked about it a total of 3 times on my damn channel since it came out. But still, this one has some of the best kills out of the entire franchise. If you want to look at my takes on the kills, I've literally made 2 videos over that, so it shouldn't be too hard to find it. But other than that, I personally think it has the worst premonition out of the entire franchise. A lot of the effects I found surprisingly cheesy, and the acting overall was not there. But still, it was a fun time. At the number 1 spot, we got Thunderbolts. This is another movie that sits well with me the longer it's been sitting there. I think this is actually the start of the new era of MCU that we've been talking about, because this was the first time I had a fun time in theaters since No Way Home. The 2 big reasons it's a quality MCU film is that the jokes actually landed. I will never forget about Bootleg Cap's Taco Bell shield, and how they dealt with Bob's character has got me very intrigued for future films. If you've enjoyed my takes on some of these movies, please drop a follow to your boy ChazClipz on Letterboxd, links in the description. And comment down below which movie you enjoyed the most in May. End of discussion.